Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share some pages from Travel Scrapbook 24 on my website, meandmycricket.com. These are from a botanical garden in Vancouver, the Van Dusen Gardens, downtown Vancouver. But a lot of them would be lovely pages for just nature, hiking, camping, summer. I wrote a list actually of all kinds of different themes that I could do, so I wouldn't waste so much time looking for themes for each page. And so I did a lot of bugs too. Grass, and this one's a grasshopper, but you'll see there are other bugs as well. So in this page I did Kiwi Lane. There's a lot of the orange, and the wood tones went with orange as well. So I found a pretty paper I liked and did 2 coordinates, well 3 actually. The background is a mini print of this, and then the coordinates are all just make it flow like scenery outdoors. That's what I like. So then I added a great big fern plant image up here because this was all plants, and the title Nature, and then I just added a bug. So this is a circle punch, and I just cut it out and tucked it behind. This is lifted up, and this, and so is that. So a nice outdoor page. This one is fun. I had fun with some of these. This is all the yellow flowers. So I did a bee and a hive. This is actually a Disney image, or Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, the hive dripping honey. I thought that would be fun, so I did them great big up here. And then I matted this photo, and I made another mat to fill in the space for a background here. And I used a punch around the page Martha Stewart border punch to create this frames. I did a wide border of sunflowers. They're a lot like these flowers, so I had the perfect paper, and I did the border punch on that as well. Did a title here, garden, and then put little bees all over the place. A very fun page. Now this page, I wanted to do a giant flourish, so I did it right across both pages. This is just one simple flourish image, and with this background paper there were coordinating borders, so I did put 2 of them down here and 1 up there, like so that they would match on each side to balance things. And then I just tucked the photos in and around, tucked them in under here with this, flip this around, all around the photos. They were scenery, so it doesn't bother me to tuck them and have part of them hidden when it's just scenery. So and then I embellished this like crazy with all these flourishes of green rhinestones all over. So I did a border punch down this side right here, and that's that page. One giant image. So there's also a Japanese pagoda there. So I did an Asian theme. This is Asian paper, Far East TCWV, I believe. And then I used this border punch that looked kind of Asian to me, so geometric at any rate. I used that to punch around the page to make frames for both of these photos. And then I found a magnificent corner, so I used that there. And I'm wondering now if these pages don't go like this. I'm sure they do. Yeah, they do, because these join. Okay, so I did a koi fish, because they're always in Asian gardens. And then I just did a border image that coordinates with this corner. And this is just a store-bought border that I cut and put there, and I put the other part of it on the side of this photo. So this page, I thought I'd do it really cutesy and fun. So I did Bambi. He has a butterfly on his tail, that image. I love Cricut images inspire me. I just look at the image and I want to use it. So anyway, I just did a border punch here in a pretty paper. There's a lot of orange flowers in these photos, so I picked this paper. And then I repeated the use of that paper with the frame for here. This is from Elegant Edges. I used a border punch. This is the Pansy Punch, Martha Stewart. And this background is, I had this in my stash. It's a great big circle cut out, and it's in the right colors. It coordinates with this paper. So I used it for a background. I cut it there, and what I cut off, I used on this side over here, turning it sideways. Found a wonderful butterfly image, and I did use pattern paper for this top layer. I like doing that. I find it adds more detail to the images and makes them more interesting. And I used a very subtle pattern paper for the bottom image and to shadow both images with. That ties it together using the same paper on both sides. I also used a pattern paper for the largest layer on this part of the Bambi image. I did emboss this layer and the fur on his head. So because there was a butterfly on there, that's what made me use another one there. Just put a title nature on that. So this is the great outdoors. We were standing in front of this waterfall taking photos, and I could not for the life of me find any image or figure out what to do for a waterfall. So I just found a very simple flourish, and then I added a busier flourish at the bottom for rushing water, just to imply that it was a waterfall. I then used a great big border punch for a frame right across the page and put 2 photos in that. I did a title, The Great Outdoors, and put a gate, just a wrought iron gate up there to fill that. This paper I lifted, so the background is flat on the page, and I lifted this higher. I embossed it all too. And now the photo is lower, so it looks like it's a 3D frame for that. I hope you can see that it's embossed. Anyway, another page done. Okay, so now we came across a crow, and my husband took pictures of him. So I found an amazing image of a crow on a fence in a Halloween cartridge, and then there was another big crow image. Well, I made it big. Another image of a crow. So I'm just having fun with the crow image. I lined up all these scenic photos and matted them together. And then I put a border punch all along the bottom. And I repeated that border punch on the side here with this store-bought border. There's more of it over here too. I then cut out a frame at an angle, and I put it, I cut it in half and put half up here and the other half down there. Just at an angle. I like doing that. So now we have a bird image. So the photos are missing from this one. I tore them out. So I'm going to, on this page, I just created a big wide border at the bottom, and then I added a butterfly border along here. It was in the same color scheme. I did a big frame for a 5x7 photo. I usually find they work in 9 inches from Elegant Edges if you're doing a 5x7 photo, and I trim my photos all the time to fit. I added a bee border on this. Did a background large circle, probably a 10-inch circle with a Martha Stewart circle punch, and tucked it behind this border, and then I just did a large mat on this photo. Then this beautiful bird on a branch. I think it's from Spring Cottage, that cartridge. I just love. I think I bought that cartridge for this image. Oh no, the gazebo image. There's a wonderful gazebo on it. So I just added a title, Flower Power, and added some gems to the center of all these blossoms. And I did use a pattern paper for the flowers because they didn't have many layers. I added another little layer to the centers of them under the gems. So this page, this is in Vancouver, and there's lots of ferns. It's very damp. It's a rainforest climate. So there's ferns and mushrooms will grow wherever it's damp. So I decided to use a mushroom theme. This is a beautiful mushroom border from Wall Decor and More cartridge in Cricut. So on this page I used Kiwi Lane. I did them back to back and on this side, and then all along the bottom going up. Over here I did, this is a border punch, and it's called Anemone. It's a Martha Stewart one. So when I cut that, I cut it on a 12-inch piece, and I cut it in half and used half of it here, tucked it behind, and the other half here. And then by shadowing this in black, it makes it pop, and then I lifted it. So I used a different border punch over here, and one that's similar for the side of this to create a frame for this. I cut this into an oval because it's in a curvy waved pattern, and did a giant palm frond tropical looking leaf, because this was at a botanical garden, but this could be any outdoor picture. And this is beautiful paper. It didn't need a lot, so I just put a frame in the middle, a pretty frame, and a coordinating border at an angle over here. Did some punched flowers and put a piece of jewelry up here. I just glued that onto the top of the frame. So I hope you enjoyed these pages, and I hope you can use them for some of your photos. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping.